I used to rip pages out of my sketchbook whenever they did not look good. Like actually tear them out and throw them away. Sounds a bit dramatic, but it's actually true. If a sketch looked off to me, I would just rip out the page out of my sketchbook. And I thought it was me being serious about improving my art. But in reality, that habit actually kept me stuck. So if you are scared of ruining your sketchbook, I get it. And this video is for you. I've been drawing for as long as I can remember. I've been to art school and I'm currently an architecture student. So drawing is basically a part of my everyday life. But even with my experience, I still struggle with sketchbooks. Especially during and after art school, I felt like every page in my sketchbook had to prove something. Like each drawing should represent of how good of an artist I was. And that pressure is huge because it actually made me avoid starting new pages unless I had a really good idea. I think that a lot of people feel this, especially if you're also starting out with drawing. You open a beautiful new sketchbook and suddenly it doesn't feel safe to explore anymore. It feels like a piece that you could easily mess up. Because once you're afraid of making bad drawings, you actually just stop experimenting. That's exactly the struggle that I had. So at some point I knew that I had to change something. So I made a simple rule for myself, and it's a very simple but important one. Your sketchbook should not be a portfolio, it should actually be a space for exploration. I know it sounds simple, even too simple. Do we really treat our sketchbooks that way? I certainly did not. For me, every page should be an artwork, should be something that I could show to others and something that I should be proud of. But a portfolio is about polished result, while a sketchbook is actually supposed to be a process. So once I separated those two things in my mind, drawing felt so light and fun again. So now let's break it down in the 3 changes that I made. Nothing has to be finished. Embrace unfinished drawings. One of the first things I allowed myself to do is to leave drawings unfinished. In the past, I felt like every page should have a perfectly complete drawing, and each page should tell their own story. Now I try to treat my sketchbook more casual. Sometimes I will just draw some random objects, sometimes I will do some line drills, some doodling. I will sketch something for the half of it and just not finish it. And instead of thinking, oh, this page looks really bad, I started to think, you know what, this is actually a part of something that could be something bigger. And sometimes I would just leave them and then come back to it a few days, or it could be even a few weeks later, because this would also give me less stress about it. It can also be super fun to repurpose unfinished drawings and turn them into collages or even mix them into a bigger artwork. The bottom line of this is just that no sketch is a waste. An unfinished drawing means that you were just exploring, and that's totally what we want for this sketchbook. If I've helped you out so far, make sure you like this video and also subscribe if you're getting back into your creative journey. Messy pages are part of the process. Don't aim for a pretty page. This one was hard for me at first. I used to think that a sketchbook should be a neat, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing sketchbook that you can just post on Instagram. I would judge my sketchbook on how pretty the pages were. But now when I go through a sketchbook, I actually focus on the messy pages, because those pages were actually the ones where I really saw my improvement. If your sketchbook looks a bit chaotic and ugly, it usually means that you are doing the work and actually growing. If every page looks clean, then I think you're just playing it too safe. So once I actually embraced that mindset and actually allowed myself to have messy pages, I actually just enjoyed drawing so much more, and I started to see the fun in those silly doodles and just scratchy lines. It actually meant that I was just getting better at drawing. This is probably the biggest shift of all. I made the decision that my sketchbook was going to be completely private by default. So not for content, but actually for myself. Giving myself the permission to actually draw for myself without an audience or without showing it to anyone allowed myself to explore more and actually be more bold in my drawings. because I stopped worrying if it should be shareable, if someone would think it would look good, and just kept in mind that I could draw anything that I wanted. So you can also draw anything that you want. Once I put that pressure off of wanting to show others my drawings, I actually just felt so much more freer in making art. And I just allowed myself to try out things that I didn't draw before. If it turned out bad, then nobody would even see it. Interestingly, this way I actually learned to improve way faster. For once, I wasn't performing for an imaginary audience. But also keep in mind that you shouldn't keep it private forever. It's just that while you're creating your art, you can just be in this judgment-free private zone. You can always just show it off later, but while drawing, you can just tell yourself that no one is going to judge you, no one is going to see this page, so just let yourself go. Thus, you will give yourself the freedom to also make mistakes. And that freedom is honestly priceless, especially if you're beginning your art journey. Remember I said in the beginning that there was one page that I would always avoid? It was actually the first clean page of a sketchbook. I feel like the first page of a sketchbook always terrified me a bit because I always put so much pressure on myself. I felt like the first page had to be amazing because it's honestly a statement piece that sets the tone for the whole sketchbook. So what I did instead was actually kind of ruin the first page of my sketchbook. So what I did is I just made some random sketches, just didn't really think much of it, because that way you put off all the pressure of your sketchbook. When I started my most recent sketchbook, I actually tried something different. Maybe the page did indeed look a bit terrible, but it was actually so liberating. It felt like I had this huge weight off my shoulders, and I had officially broken into my sketchbook with a messy page. And I honestly had nothing left to lose than to just draw. No fear of the blank page, because that was basically already gone. If it's one thing that I want you to take away from this video, is that your sketchbook is not your portfolio, it is a thinking space, it is a work in progress. Let it be messy, let it be unfinished, let it be imperfect. That's exactly where the real process happens. The only wrong way to use a sketchbook is being afraid of messing it up, and then you eventually won't be using your sketchbook at all. So go ahead, please, make something bad, make something silly on your first page, scribble out an idea and just embrace it. Ironically, when you stop worrying about making the perfect drawing, you will create the perfect environment and conditions to improve and discover the joy in drawing again. Happy sketching, and remember that a truly ruined sketchbook page is the one that just stays blank. See you in the next one. Bye guys!